most of the dangerous ones are turned on.
That is true. In all dungeons, the back attacks and the surprise attacks are going to occur, so that's going to play with some of their choices for the center slot. Oh, this is a fun team we have here.
Oh, DKC, Tella, and a Darkness Crystal just to open up the moon in case you want to brave dangerous encounters up there right away.
Let's see, there are 4 random objectives. That's all they got to get done, and that is GG. And so we're just going to find them out right here as well. This is an interesting set, though. The treasure is wild, and the shops are standard. So the items that are going to be left in the chest all throughout the map are going to probably be of a lot more use than what you're going to find in the shops. Ooh, okay.
Alright, so guaranteed music, and we have to open up the pass door, hit Yang with the pan, and then find D-Mist.
So that's some key item chasing. That's some required music. It's good to see. Thanks, Invent, for throwing that in the chat. And like you said, if you're not used to this, there's no free running through the dungeons anymore. They're going to be surprise attacks. They should be able to get away from them very well, but it is going to change who you want in what position in your party as we're going forward here, depending on whether they're on the moon, or if they're on the overworld, or if they're underground.
Looks like Couch wants that character right away, when Vival Skunk is just going to go loot Damsian. I didn't see anything particularly great there yet.
Oh, me neither. This character should be interesting, and there's an adamant armor.
Rivers has a nose for the good stuff.
Rivers and Blaze have that. I realize some of it, although no one on this team's going to be putting out too much damage. I would not be surprised if we see a quick ordeal play once they make the original checks here. There is a Pale. It's a double check for. That was one of the objectives, right? I'm still trying to put those into my mind.
Objectives were pass, Twin Harp, D-Mist, and return with the pan after hitting Yang with it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we got Derek Mist is playing double hide and seek. He'll have a key item, and he is required. So hopefully he found a good spot. Not holding anything too valuable.
No, he's definitely not at home because we saw Vivalis there.
And he is the first one to brave the Antlion Cave. With this party, those back attacks, particularly without that adamant armor, have a chance of actually putting you in a bad position if you can't get away quick enough.
Yeah, it's kind of a bold play with this party. There's not a lot of damage on it. You can see Rivers.
Well, see, we were discussing that earlier. It's not a flag that's usually turned on. So we'll see if anyone's unprepared for it. And there's D-Mist, so that's one off the list up on Mount Hobbs. And a Porum getting picked up on the moon. Doesn't add much to the party strength. I don't think this D-Mist is going to be too long for this world with the starting kit that everybody has. He did not hide very well.
There's another adamant armor in Antlion Cave, too.
Oh, wow. So we got ourselves... This is particularly when there's no Z-fight. Once they finish these, that's GG. So I'm going to guess Rivers finds that adamant. Vivalis, I don't think, took the time to loot Baron. But he now has one, and Blades has one.
And it looks like Couch is going to loot Baron now too, and we'll probably find it.
This way. And with this starting kit, again, the shops, it's S standard. If you really find yourself needing to grind, you might be able to find Sirens somewhere, but you get life potions, some cure potions, some tents, some star veils, basically everything a growing party needs in order to make your way through this race.
Oh my, we'll have an early third adamant armor with Rivers fighting Hook on Rydia's bomb, and Vavella Skunk after using a Zeus Rage on that poor turtle gets a pink tail out of Antlion Cape.
Okay. So there's Shard Plate to go around for everybody right now. Couch found his adamant and is now making his way to, it looks like, grab his ship.
And Julicent in chat asking for a recap of the objectives. The players have to get the pass and open the door in Troya. They have to complete Cave Magnus, so they'll need the Twin Harp. They have to find and kill D-Mist, which Rivers has already shown us is up on Mount Hobbs. And they have to find the Pan, get access to the underground, find Yang, hit him, and then go back to Sheila.
So it looks like at this point they're pretty much key item hunting with potentially 3 adamant armors to get their way through any bosses. If the Hook is the way underground, which I guess at this point underground is required.
Yep, and maybe we'll get some mean Hook bosses, but with that many adamant armors, I think it's going to be too mean. Oh. We already saw the worst one in Kinatsu, and he's out of the picture.
And this is going to be, I would be surprised if anybody skips going to Ordeals with this party before hitting that Hook route. In that they're started with the 2 primary Ordeals beneficiaries, although there's no boss hunt. But you might as well get something for that Cecil. Let's hope they don't find a sword too quickly, because otherwise this is just going to be a stab and go type of run. There's Valvalis. He's up there. He's got his D-Mist. That's going to get him his Hook. We got Couch and Rivers neck and neck going in to make very quick work of that that Kenatsu, as well as grabbing their additional adamant armors.
And Couch with his early moon play as an extra white mage and hasn't yet gone up Hobbs to find his demon.
That is true. We'll see. We'll see if there's any divergence here, but I'm guessing everybody clear that out. I'm guessing the next new piece of information is going to come from this Baron Castle or going up Ordeals. I don't think anyone's going to have anything they're going to be struggling with for the duration of this race at this point.
Oh, and Gambit has spied that Golbez was taking a bath in the waterfall cave, getting nice and clean.
That's good. That's a good place for everybody. I'm sure they're glad that he's there. Not that instant death is a concern for this group anymore, but that will at least save time.
Rivers and Couch pick up their pink tails while Blaze cleans up D-Mist.
With 2 adamant armors, do you even take the time to go and grab a third? It feels like you're just getting greedy at that point.
Yeah, you maybe just kind of wait and see if you need to turn in the rat tail and then just do it then.
I would wait. A low-powered Tello with an adamant really isn't worth anything, at least as far as their party's going right now.
Scala Kitty always looking out for our runners and wanting them to embrace greed, so she would like them to.
Scala, you rolled this. We were expecting punishment. This is a reward right now. Real deep in the depths of the moon.
And Valvalis is very happy to maybe pick up that reward, picking up the hovercraft and taking it to Silvera.
Oh, there we go, yeah. If he hasn't found the other ones, it's a perfectly logical play to make.
Oh my, there's
Wyvern occasion.
Just casting Blizzard, though. Because Whichburn is on.
And there's Rivers throwing up that Star Veil too late to avoid that 12 damage that his Yang took. This is, at least as far as parties go that can't take an enormous amount of advantage of the benefits of Adamant Armor. Early, Yang, Cecil, and Tello before Ordeals are three of the weakest characters, at least when you first get them.
Yeah, because this Asura might be actually a little annoying, although it looks like Rivers is switching to a Charm Claw, which probably will make a little bit short work of her.
Charm Claw, yes, he did burn one of his Star Veils, so I would assume that he's going to go for a Life Lock here, which, if you're unfamiliar, is if you hit as that life comes up for her to cast, repeatedly spin back to that life head and not heal herself in any way, although doing 171 damage a turn means that this fight is going to take 10 to 12 rounds easily before it's done. Couch has a power shirt that he just doesn't have to put on Yang. That would be, in other situations, something of immense value.
And it's really just going to end up on the wardrobe floor today.
Yeah, it's just going to sit in the closet, hanging around. I assume Rivers is going to get through this with no problem. I was concerned. The only question was going to be if he could get off the two parries. Single Yang hit, but it looks like now that Tello's taking a nap on the floor, that's not going to be a problem in any way.
Yeah, Yang with that Adamant Armor is not really going to be afraid of Asura. It's just going to be, is it worth the time for him to do this? But no one else is diving anything new and interesting. No one's gone to Fabul. Nobody has gone up Ordeals.
Well, I was finding some Silk Webs, some Cure 3s, Star Veils. Which, as you see here, at least if you take on this Asura early, it'd be nice to have Star Veils, although I guess at this point there's no one else who can really do any damage besides this Yang, unless you find some sort of the Dark Sword or something else that Cecil can wear. Ace is going to finish off this Kainatsu on the top left. Couch doing us the favor of just following right behind Rivers and offering no additional information as to what's going on.
The Couch panicking maybe a little bit, trying to get some attacks off with the run buffering.
It doesn't seem like either of them. I mean, maybe he was just doing that to get attacks off, but it certainly didn't seem like Rivers knew that the Whichburn was on, which is, as opposed to getting Mega Nuked, Wyvern will just cast a random spell that is, by definition, usually a lot easier to deal with than getting Mega Nuked.
Absolutely. I know I panic every time I see Wyvern, even if I know Whichburn is off, or Whichburn is on, or even if Wyvern's on, I always reflexively am run buffering and throwing up. Ooh, and we get a tower key off of that Asura.
Okay. It's going to make a little bit more intriguing. And we have Valvalis headed up Ordeals. And Moonblaze has gone over to Baron. So we're going to see some more key items. I guess the bosses aren't nearly as important as they were while we were still looking for them, but...
Yeah. And Nestor Prot in chat is asking if encounters are on, and it's actually the dangerous encounters only. So if they're walking through and the game decides surprise, or here's a back attack, they'll get it. Otherwise, they just keep walking on their merry way.
Interesting flag. It's mostly just going to cause annoyances because primarily you're going to be able to run. But if you find yourself either if you're going through the Sylph Cave or the Land of Seven Monsters and you haven't cured up and you have a very low party, because there's just a likelihood that they'll get 2 or 3 hits off at most, depending on how many monsters you encounter before you can run away. But it can potentially create a disturbance or two.
looks like Rivers is taking one of these encounters just to get a little more XP, using Cure 2s on the Lamia, while Vavelis is fighting some Dark Imps.
Having seen that hook is what you're going to be dealing with, and knowing that Yang's experience growth is going to offer just as much strength as that adamant armor is, I don't disagree with that play. And those Lamias are a pretty easy target.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Moonblaze Wolf is in Fabul fighting the Antlion, who's just kind of shifted over a couple spots from vanilla.
This is the only issue with this party right now, is it's going to take some time to do the amount of damage that you need, but the likelihood that either of the characters with that adamant armor on are going to take more damage than they can handle is pretty much zero at this point.
And Rivers has equipped his Edward that he picked up in Baron Inn with the adamant armor and a dancing dagger. He's pretty much going to be the main DPS actually for a little bit.
It's like it. Spoon Edward with an adamant armor is nothing to be trifled with.
Blaze through the fight with the Antlion and gets a rat tail. So I don't know if Blaze went and used that pink tail, but if he hasn't, he'll be able to just kind of double up his tails altogether and turn them both in at once. And Simbu in chat noting that if you agility anchor well and make some people relative agility 1, you can use a little bit of tech to actually not take really much damage except from the moon on the back attacks, because you'll be able to run away a little bit faster.
That is definitely worth noting. They have enough adamant armors to go around that it would make sense to keep somebody laying on the floor just to have the best possible anchor. If they can find a curse ring to go with the other people wearing adamant armors, that's going to negate pretty much all of the effects of that flag, except for wasting a couple seconds of time every 10 or 15 steps.
And Rivers now through the Dark Imps, and will be joining the Vavelis Skunk in a back attack plague spot where the numbers have been mirrored.
These are the actual fights we're having. That armor isn't going to help you quite as much as you would have hoped. Because Plague doesn't really care, because he's not doing physical damage or magical damage. He's just trying to run a counter. Look like Valvalis had a kamikaze, which was nice. That's going to reset the counter. Dark Knight Tesla showing his absolute lack of ability, and Tella for 1.
Old man strength. And we get a magma key from Moonblaze. He does not have to go do the hook. We'll see if everyone does it. And Rivers wipes to Plague.
Ooh, they both wiped a Plague. So there you go, Scala. You found a way to sneak in a way to just negate all of that expected return. Did they both take a save after the Dark Imps? It looks like
Rivers definitely did. And I imagine Vavelis.
I would have plowed right on through with this kind of party.
I mean, it normally wouldn't be a bad call, because you're like, hey, I've got adamant armors, everything is fine.
If Rivers can pull this off, he was trying to just get a reflect up, I think, before Plague got his first attack off, but he has his Tella in the center is going to prevent that from working, but maybe he's trying to get the Death Cast on Plague, which is a strat that requires some interesting additional things to occur.
Yeah, well, he'll be able. That Yang will eventually pass on. And then he'll be able to revive Yang and get everyone counted down, and then just need to make sure that he's got some people left after once Plague's counter goes.
And there's the fast on Plague. We'll see Blaze making his way up to the top of our deals as well. We got Couch making the football play, finishing off Antlion. So this is looking. I mean, this is not required, but given the party you have, it's basically required. We'll see if the key item does anything for them, or if this was just a trek to try to power up your mage and get that Cecil to transform into his get his makeover, become a little bit more valuable as a member of this party.
Yeah, and looks like Rivers has the good infinite cast going on. He has all the time in the world now that Yang has a Star Veil up, and Plague is just going to continually reflect count back onto himself.
We saw that Golbez was down taking a shower, and we've already fought Wyvern, and you don't have to have the Z fight, so that 3 Star Veils, if he's used all 3 of them, then there isn't that much that you have to worry about having another one for.
Yeah, we've already seen Asura too. Is the other one that you mostly want.
That's right.
A Star Veil for early thing.
Oh, this is the party of pure defense and completely lacking in offense.
And Rivers is got the crumbling eyeball.
Simbu said it correctly. This is 100% defense and 0% offense right now. The damage output, I haven't seen much as far as a sword once Cecil transitions, but given that it's T-Wild,
I imagine they'll find someone. And Invenerable asked in chat if anyone has peeked the Evelyn character, and no one has. They have both the hook, and a couple people have found the Magma Key, and no one has done anything other than stay on the overworld. They haven't even gone near Evelyn or Eggert.
anyone check the Sand Ruby? There's no character to hunt, so there's really not a great reason even if you get the Sand Ruby to take the time to go pick up that character.
No, if anyone did, I've missed it. We've seen the boss checks in a couple places, but I don't think anyone walked into that town.
And that early hook route, if you hadn't found 2 or 3 adamant armors to begin with, you might want to go there to check some extra chests, try to find yourself a character who can deal out some damage. But I think this overconfidence, at least, is what led to some of these wipes on this plague fight up here.
And Vivalis is through. Rivers is fighting Mylon. Pretty soon we're going to get some "Oh My Body" text, I think. And Blaze had wiped on Plague and has to go refight the Dark Imps because he thought he was going to be fine with that adamant armors.
That's exactly what would have happened to me in this situation. I would have panicked, lost the fight. And the Dark Imps aren't a difficult fight, but they are time consuming. See if anyone. I didn't notice if anyone tried to life glitch them, because you're looking for levels right now as far as Yang is concerned.
Yeah, there isn't that much XP off of those imps though, so.
Oh, that's true.
It's worth life glitching.
He also the J commands and off, or the no J commands is on, whichever one it is, which means Yang doesn't have that punch. A couple things that you try to take advantage of typically when you're running this. If we find a Palom, he won't be able to boost his dark magic stats.
Yeah, no bluffing. And couch takes a reset. I don't know, does that count Simbu for a wipe counter?
Well, is this his second plague fight, or is he on his third? Because he at least was smart enough to take the save.
Yeah, this is at least the second. We saw Couch reset as soon as we saw Plague, pretty much. River is finally going to give us a check in Evelyn.
Rivers is... This will be interesting. He is the only one who hasn't done Fabul Castle.
That is very Rivers, though. He likes to kind of skip it, from what I remember.
We'll see if this hurts him. He can get plenty of XP. It's a question of if he gets enough equipment on this, or what we have for sale in the shops. Because it's still going to be slow going on trying to burn down 26,000 XP at that Ruvicante spot.
Yeah, and couch with the excellent play of berserking up characters who are going to be RA1, so that the count never actually goes away. If your characters are berserked, which means they don't actually take any inputs to go, they won't actually let the count go off. And couches through, I think only resetting, just to make sure that he had the party in the right order.
For couch, let's see. Ovalis is through. Was there a key item up there? I didn't notice it.
I didn't either. I've missed it.
Okay, thank you, chat.
Thank you, Iker, our tracker.
Our lovely tracker.
And Rivers has found the Stalemen and doesn't really have a whole lot to beat him with. He tried coffining them, and it did not work. They're probably a little bit too big to fit in coffins.
Sometimes you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I would have certainly tried that, knowing how long it's going to take me to actually burn through these guys. This is the ongoing story, is that the damage output versus the amount of defense is going to get you through some things. But I don't know if he took a save. It's a typical thing to take a save, just outside of the cave and then just reset when you run into these guys. But maybe he's desperately in need of the XP. That is also true, and Ben. I did not know that about Rivers, but that is, you could not have planned that better. Leave him with something going on that's just not going to give him the fastest way underground, particularly since we're not looking for any more bosses.
Yeah, and Blaze has his gang reflected, so it looks like he'll probably eventually get through this pretty easily.
I think the idea of maybe Rivers is that he wants to come back, since he already has underground access. He wants to wait until he's either done Sheila 1, or he's found the pan and he's going there and he's checking 3 key items at once. Which, hook, the likelihood that that's the one thing with the magma key is not super probable, but Scalakitty giving us at least some route divergence, which is nice to see. And we'll get a character check coming up here, and we'll see what bosses he's got to make his way through.
And I have seen him pick up a crystal ring down here, and there's a cat claw for Yam. So some of the treasure has been pretty good.
And there's a Soma drop, which means you can have Medio on Tella.
And everybody is now through Ordeals. Well, Moonblaze is at least through Plague, and we'll be through Ordeals pretty soon.
Yes, Kane MP. Assuming we find him, Dragoon Spear, Kane with 10 MP is a very important. Oh, that's CPU. That's another one. Wow. CPU and a Sid. Gimli the dwarf is found underground. See if he dives it.
Couch has now picked up his easy access underground.
Fabulous down there as well. Given the Cecil, I still haven't seen a weapon for him. I would have at least checked that shop. But guess we'll see how this works out for them. River's backing out. Wow. Willing to make the CPU play. Gotta credit him for saying that checking Baron might save him a little time, even if he still has to go under there.
Yeah, as Simbu points out in chat, that CPU will take a long time. This team does not have the damage potential to get through what is nearly 25,000 hit points at that Ruby spot. I don't remember exactly how it splits, but it's probably at least going to be 20k, even if it's not dangerous. And it's another percentage based, so those adamant armors don't actually matter.
If we didn't have that magma key from Fabul, this would have gone from what looked like an incredibly easy seed to an incredibly tedious seed in a 12 minutes flat.
Rivers will be very happy in a few minutes to get a magma key.
I'm happy for him. Picking up the Sid is gonna help with damage output. At least for the time being, and it looks like Falbalis is gonna go for it.
It's a bold play, but maybe there will be some good treasure down here. The Mad Ogres might get him something.
Will to Fear, the conditions were Twin Harp, bonk with the pan, and open the pass door. The fourth was finding Mist Dragon, but everyone already did that as he was up on Mount Hobbs.
Well, and we
not
have
hiding very well.
There was an Avenger sitting in a chest.
Ooh.
Now, that's still not great when you have to fight CPU, but...
That is very true. Weapon, nonetheless. And... Yep, these boss attacks are just going to keep coming. It's got to factor into some of your decision-making, is using the magma key saves you running through an entire dungeon and having to deal with running away.
Rivers is taking a couple of stabs at the inventory boss.
Looks like Couch is going to be the first one to make it underground. He's gone to the moon. And now he's beating everybody down beneath the Earth's soil after crashing down that mountain on this poor defenseless town.
Oh, Simbu is very mean and also delightful in that he wants to see some of the runners wipe in Magnus Cave metal equipped, which is normally a great play, having the metal equipped before you even walk in there so that you don't have to worry about it for the Dark Elf fight. But it's a really bad move in this particular mindset.
We're just going to pick up that additional adamant armor, because why not? And Couch is going to show us some new information here. The tower.
Yep, Rivers is very now happy with that magma key. Vavel Skunk is picking up some XP with coffins and those Mad Ogres. His Yang might be able to do some appreciable damage somewhat soon, but it's still not going to be great.
The lack of that power ability is really going to be a detriment, particularly on the CPU fight.
Oh, and one of the worst places for Mom Bomb too. This continues to be glorious in subtle ways. Because while this spot doesn't have very much HP, Mom Bomb has a neat little trick where there's an extra 9,000 hit points that you get that you have to go through before the explode happens.
It'll be nice. You would have, if you ran into that Mom Bomb there, you might have wished you had gone up to the top of the tower just to get the XP.
Yeah, and actually to be clear about that, it's 9,000 extra HP to kill her before she explodes. The explode happens when you've done enough damage that would kill a normal boss in that spot. Couch is through, but we'll have to wait a couple minutes before we actually know what's there, because I assume Couch will probably go to the top, unless Couch will do one of the Pkey specials and do a half tower.
Be surprised. I save before you get to this first tower fight, and then reset out if the item is not something that you feel is worth the effort. But you're pot committed at this point to taking this fight and walking that key item out, unless you want to save, unless you want to reset down to one room directly below.
Yeah, and Simbu correcting me in chat saying that it's half the damage before Mom Bomb explodes. And the High Spirits chiming in saying, it makes a lot of sense that a bomb goes up the room. That is an excellent point, High Spirits.
And all right, we've got runners everywhere now. This is the divergence that I was hoping for here.
Absolutely. Blaze is in the Dwarf Castle. Vavala Skunk is dealing with the Maggot Sisters on the top of the tower. Rivers is in Land of Seven Monsters. And Couch is doing a trap chest.
One good sword for Cecil in this trap chest could be worth it.
And Rivers finds some hourglasses in Land of Seven Monsters, and they're pretty rare in the beta.
And there's the pass.
Absolutely, there's one of our things. He is avoiding the rest of Fame March because the key items this time are only in the main and the moon. The quest summon monsters don't count this time.
And there are no more bosses that we're looking for. So at this point, this is just a key item hunt. This is immediately going to complete that objective. We see Ogo Pogo on Blaze's screen. He's in the Dwarf Castle.
I think this is the dull spot, and here's another one of the bosses that does not care about your adamant armor too much.
His damage is percentage based, whether you like it or not. Not the most dangerous of positions for an Ogo Pogo to appear.
They have enough adamant armors to not worry too much about the physical attacks that Ogo Pogo does. And Nightsa is asking in chat about the objectives. There are 4 in this flag set. For this particular random objective run, they have to find the pass and open the door in Troya with it. They have to get the Twin Harp and defeat Cave Magnus. They have to find and defeat D-Mist, and they have to find the pan, hit Yang with it, and then go return that pan to Sheila. So we know where the pass is, and everyone's beaten D-Mist. But there are 2 objectives that we still have no idea where they are, and those key items could be on the moon, or they might have to go to the moon and then come back to Earth to finish them too.
And there are, for all intents and purposes, there are 2 key item checks actually at the Dwarf Castle, because the vanilla Final Fantasy Warp glitch is currently activated as Moonblaze finds an edge. And the gauntlet.
Well, at least as you said, though, will be rewarded with 2 potential key item checks after defeating this gauntlet. And it's a good thing they have found Tella and gone up Ordeal, so they do have Warp.
Correct, and I don't know if Simbu set a counter to see if his estimation of how long this CPU fight was going to take is correct or not, but I think Valvalis is going to be there for a hot minute.
Yeah, it looks like 21,000 HP to get through on the CPU. It's going to take quite a while and might actually run Tella out of MP. There's not a lot of healing here.
That's correct. Those Mazers may actually start to prove tedious, considering he never went up to the moon where we know there's a forum, so his white mage is lacking in MP.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of Soma drops overall on the seed, but Tella doesn't heal very well or very efficiently.
So Valvalis might have walked himself into quite the trap here.
And I think Couch is dealing with the dolls there at the top of the tower, so they happily still got to dance the seed.
You're gonna transform. Dolls, if you destroy all of one particular color before wiping them all out, then they transform into Calbrena, which again, it's not going to be an issue of her actual physical attacks, but it's going to lengthen the duration of the fight.
It sure will.
That's a key item. Blaze, it looks like this is on the final fight of the Gauntlet, which is not alt Gauntlet for months.
Yep. River's also getting his edge and actually has some DPS now on the team.
We haven't seen a sword for, at least not that I've noticed, anything particularly strong for edge.
I think I saw one
not
ninja sword somewhere.
Well, we'll see. It looks like he might be... Okay. There we go. Blaze waiting for the hand to steal the item that the hand apparently just puts immediately back. If you just warp back to the room. We'll get 2 checks here. I missed what Couch found there.
I did too. We have the Earth Crystal from Blaze.
The Earth Crystal, we have one more check here.
And a gold apple for teacher.
So we know where the pass is, but we're still looking out for...
We still need a pan and a twin heart.
Here. So there's still 2 key items. We know where they are not. So we're looking at Sheila 1, the Earth Crystal, or we're looking at the Moon right now, which at least excites me a little bit that this is going to keep going.
Yeah, you know everyone is hoping for a spoon as soon as possible.
That would be in my top 3 key items that I was looking for at this point. It might be 3rd, but I would not be against a spoon at this point. And it looks like, okay, he has a Moonblaze is a full moon for that edge.
Maggie the Cat Dwarf Castle had a gold apple that was hiding behind Ogopogo and then the Gauntlet. And using the Warp Lich, we discovered that Luca Cave was hiding the Earth Crystal this time rather than the Darkness Crystal.
There's Earth Crystal and Sheila 1 are the only remaining key item checks that we know of so far on without having to go up to the moon. So it's looking like there's a pretty high chance that some moon boss might be sitting behind one of these things.
Couch finds the package out of behind the Darkness Crystal, or behind the Tower Key.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did. That was the final check. I'd forgotten about that one.
Now I wonder if you maybe
So we'll see.
decide to go do that just to because you have it could be a Kmain or it could be a Fu, and you do have a Dragoon Spear we've seen.
Wait, check that. I don't think it's a bad play. You're not looking for a boss though, sadly. If we hadn't found Demist at this point, that would be a great little check. Out what's probably going to be inscribed on his tombstone at this point. This is what you do for full castle. Is Valvalis is, well, we're going to call it 5.5 minutes, potentially 6 minutes into this CPU fight.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if any of those runners who've done Dwarf Castle almost immediately go to Toroya, loot their treasury, and hopefully get a good crystal sword out of there.
It'll go on Valvalis' tombstone at this point. Rivers at least noped out of that well enough. And it looks like we're going to have some overlap here. As Blaze went up the tower, Rivers making his way up the tower. Valvalis in purgatory here. Or maybe one of the
calling down some rocks.
That was, yeah, the Soma drop. And I thought Valvalis picked up a Soma drop on his way in, or there was one somewhere in. Not that you would have saved all of the MP, but oh man. It's one of the stages of hell is fighting a CPU with 26,000 HP when you got nothing to put up against it.
Yeah, this is a terrible party and terrible equipment set for this fight. This is definitely the better part of Valor was saying, no, this is not today.
What do we say to the god of fighting CPU in the Ruby spot? We say not unless we really, really, really have to. The Orbs of Health. That's accurate. Yeah, a fair amount of overlap.
Yeah, they pretty much have done most of the checks that they can, and they're just kind of reconverging at this point. Although they have the whole moon open to them, and no one's braved it.
We'll say even with those adamant armors on, the only thing that could be worse than some boss you run into the moon is what Valvalis is going through right now with this CPU fight. You might not lose those fights, but they could take a long time. My bet is on Blaze is going to be the first one to actually go and either head up to the moon or Sheila 1 or check this Earth Crystal.
Yeah, Blaze had a very nice tower with the Meteo and then flaming down the bombs. That picked up Moonblaze a lot of time.
We'll see. I'm hoping. I know that Couch hasn't run many of these community races. I certainly hope he knows that the warp glitch is on. I know he runs vanilla FF4. We'll see if he makes that item check and whether or not that leads to progression. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that was not a shot against Couch. I've watched him run a lot of Final Fantasy. This is just
Couch might be a little bit rusty at Free Enterprise. We haven't seen him in a long time.
Well, for pointing out in chat that he ran this flag set this morning. So hopefully he has all those things figured out. He's definitely a capable runner. I would just say rust would be the only question, and there's a lot more ability to mess with these flag sets with this new version 4.0.
Yeah, and Gambit asking what's left. They have both the Pan, which you knew about, and Twin Harp to find. So there's still a couple key items to find before they can call it done.
Well, yeah, Inven. Not all who wander are lost. Maybe you just just wanted to win that fight. We know. So the pass is at the free chest in the Fey March. And just to recap, D-Mist was up at Mount Hobbs, hiding like my 5-year-old niece in the most obvious of spots, but no one was willing to pretend that she wasn't there. So that one was checked off as well. So we got 2 left, 2 key items, and then that's the game.
And as Velas has found, D-Mist wasn't hiding well, but was hiding a great troll, in that D-Mist had the hook. So it was much easier to find than the magma key at Fabul.
It's true. That's like just agreeing to play hide and go seek. You know that you might get yourself into a 12-minute fight that's not going to lead to anything besides just eventually having to realize. Yep. As Simbu's pointed out, he is in no. With no shortage, he's saying he started at 40 minutes. We're now at crossing the 11-minute mark of the CPU fight. So Simbu, you win. You win that 10-minute bet. Cookie, not that you're lacking for cookies, but you were definitely right on that.
And Rivers is walking out of the tower as Moonblaze is exiting the Fey March, and we'll see where they both go. Looks like Moonblaze Wolf is going directly to go talk to Yang and at least tell Sheila where her husband is, except the fact that he's in the party.
This was the other location if you don't have an anchor that you can run from, as Simbu pointed out, where you might accidentally drop your health so low that you could find yourself in a very difficult state if you get a back attack.
Oh, and we have the Globe 199s out. Taking out Cecil.
It looks like Valvalis equipped that Avenger sword.
Yeah, this is not a good spot.
Out of chin.
Blaze got in and out of the Sylph Cave pretty quickly, and is now going to visit Sheila.
Fingers crossed from a masochist perspective that this doesn't lead to anything, and that both of the key items we're looking for is still on the moon or at the Earth Crystal. You do not want to see that defender heal that CPU for damage that you paid dearly, very, very dearly to get.
Yeah, that's really disheartening.
It's gonna heal
the Lilith Rod so he can actually continue to heal through this fight. That is some pretty good play to steal some MP.
2200's healing and a Cecil that you've lost control over who's attacking the wrong person is.
And Sheila just has a robe for us.
It's something else you can add to the closet. Although he'll find a Porum, which we'll see. With this party, you might be interested in having a white mage. Blaze is at least a step ahead of Rivers here, and it looks like they've both basically completed the same thing.
Yeah, they're pretty much neck and neck.
Either of them. Oh, it looks like Rivers saved out of it. Or no, he. But I don't know if that white robe is worth enough to me at this point to walk all the way out of that castle, particularly knowing Rivers' distaste for it. And it looks like, well, we have divergence here.
Moonblaze Wolf is going to the moon.
Mm-hmm. Moon, Rivers over to the Earth Crystal.
And Rivers not taking the time to loot the treasury, probably feeling pretty comfortable with that edge, having an adamant armor and a full moon.
Simbu, I feel like is just voyeuring this CPU fight, and this is
Couch, however, is looting, so we get to see what's in here.
Oh, good call. Ow!
And nothing good. Ow.
That is, particularly in the wildish treasure set. That's the most valuable place by far in this entire game, and that was nothing. But all right, didn't get anything there. Let's redip. There's a power shirt and a cat claw. Still helmet, not terrible.
Yeah, and Tuba points out this is on Wild, so there is no actual waiting. Anything can be.
That's why I said on Wildish, it's the most valuable place. On Wild, it's a lot of things to check at once.
Yeah, it's just very dense. It's excellent time. Blaze finds himself a double dragon fight. I didn't notice if that was a siren or just.
I wasn't sure either. Actually, I was wondering that same thing myself. I don't know. Maybe Simba, you can comment this in the chat, but I don't know how much the CPU got to heal up. Oh, and there they both go again.
Yeah, I think the CPU is pretty much near full. And Moonblaze Wolf is making use of Tellus Weak to get some extra HP as Rivers downs Mylon C, taking out the Mega Sister's spot in Tower of Zot.
Get some character checks here. Iridia. It's going to be a no from me, dog, but maybe we'll see what Rivers does.
There was a Bahamut summon somewhere in the seed I've seen. I don't remember if Rivers picked it up. So I would actually probably take Iridia if I still had it.
And okay. I guess we'll see. We'll see the key item there. Maybe you take that Rosa, but you're not looking for a Z fight here, so HP growth isn't huge. Oh, although he hasn't gone to the moon, so he doesn't have a white mage yet. Oh, just passing.
And there's a different sort of double dragons that Moonblaze runs away from. The double blue dragons would have been a pretty mean fight, as Rivers finds the guards at the top of the tower and can cough them up pretty well.
Taking the time for a life glitch, just putting them right to bed. Well, I thought Blaze just ran into another one of the bosses we've already gone across, but that was just a back attack on the moon. I thought that was a second plague fight.
Oh, and that hurts. Valvalis resets out of an 18-minute CPU fight.
Will he try again?
Let's hope he takes a moment, thinks about Fabul, and goes up there and gets a Magma Key.
Not appear to be getting ready to exit out. Oh, there we go.
And Rivers finds value in Zot. There is a pan.
Ooh. That's two more key item checks, either of which could also lead to the harp.
Well, it'll be one really good item and one key item check, because the Silsar quest summon.
Oh, that's right.
So
I forgot.
They'll just give you excellent gear. But it does solve one of our objectives, so we're down to trying to find the Twin Harp.
We are at a race for music. If there was I'll say Scala. I was skeptical at first, but this is the free enterprise dream. Is they're racing to see who can find Eddie to play the harp first. Well, we know at least Rivers' win is going to be with music. If Blaze finds a haunted moon, and it's gonna be a musical finale for everybody. It looks like okay, so River's gonna make that check. Blaze taking on his first moon boss.
Couch was happy with his party, not taking either the Rydia or the Rosa. Yeah, and we get to see Yang say ouch pretty soon. There it is.
Okay, one down. Will he hold the Harp of Destiny? Nope, that's a key item. That's not what we're looking for, though.
Rivers gets the Baron key out of Sheila too.
That is another key item check. And we'll see what Rivers wants to do. That's the only key item left to him outside of the moon. So I would not be surprised to see him head up there, because that's not the fastest thing that you're going to get a check from.
No, but I think you might as well just finish off the Earth.
Yeah, you might just keep going with that. You already took the time to go Earth. Yeah, as Simbu points out, I want to get this over with.
And Blaze finding Odin, and I think that we've seen some Thunderclaws, so Yang is going to have a great day. Yeah, there's a hefty 6K out of that Berserk Yang. That's going to be excellent news.
Which gets through with Earth, trailing not too far behind Rivers. So this is the question of, is Baron Key going to be the play? Or are we going to see the final two items we've been looking for split between that Earth and somewhere up on the moon?
Yeah, looks like Vivalis is doing a lot of shopping, trying to buy a Dwarf Axe there, so might be looking to back row glitches Cecil. I wonder if Vivalis has forgotten about the Fabul, while we find an Artemis bow and a Sand Ruby behind the D-Lunar spot.
You very well have to wonder if they... that play exists, because at some point in your 15-minute CPU fight, if you had another check to make, you might consider making that check. I know Vivalis is a very good runner, so you just, part of you wonders maybe they forgot that was even on the board. Yep, and as Simbu's pointing out, he's doing something else, which makes me think that maybe Fabul has just completely left his mind. Because he's just, I don't disagree with this from that mindset either. He's just going to go up to the moon.
Yeah, go up to the moon, see the character, see if maybe you get someone who's really good and gonna help you out. And on the Baron throne, after getting through Pale Dim in the Baigen spot, Baigen has shifted up a spot and taken leadership of Baron.
Blaze just running into a very, very straightforward moon here. I don't know if he used, I believe the kit gives you an hourglass or two. Maybe he had used those. Maybe he used those on the Gold Dragon fight. But cards, very easy bosses so far. He has 2 checks left, and then he'll be out of here.
Yep, and there's Rivers using that Bahamut to just clean up Baigen real fast. Rydia showing her worth almost immediately.
He did take that Rydia. His menuing is so fast that I can't tell what he's doing half the time.
There's a bonus Sid, in case you wanted one.
In case you left the last one by accident.
Sid, you're a week early. Those are next week's flags.
It's the same Sid as before. He was just hoping that maybe you were more interested this time in having him on your team.
He said, "Hey, how about vanilla on me? Do you want me now?"
Rivers is going to make the slowest walk in all of running this game. Rivers is going to take a bathroom break here. have a cigarette, file his taxes, and then he'll come back and see what key item he got. I don't think
there it is. Rivers is going straight, probably going to be going straight there to give us some music and go for the win.
Oh, there it is. It's looking like Rivers with Couch not too far behind. And Blaze
is cleaning up the moon. There's nothing here. And Blaze might have forgotten. Oh no, that's I was thinking it was in the wrong part of the map. Blaze is going to the Wyvern spot.
I mean, statistically, he didn't make a terrible play. He's making 5 checks versus 1 check completing Earth that could lead to nothing, and then 1 check at Baron that could also lead to nothing, and both of those happen to just hold the keys to the victory.
Bagging the pan was in behind Earth Crystal and Zot, and then turning that in got you the Baron key. Sheila 2 had the goods.
Sheila 2 to Baron, Baron to Harp, Harp to the tunes and to victory.
And Vivella Skunk here is getting some good levels out of this free fight on the moon. Unfortunately, just spent a little too much time in that CPU for this to really pay off at all.
He'll be kicking himself at some point here. At least maybe he'll go and get revenge on this CPU. We'll get to see somebody clear that out.
Yes, we do indeed have a haunted moon today. Yeah, Earth Crystal was at Sealed Cave, so if the Warp Glitch was on, we still would have had to find the Luca key, which had to have been on the moon. But Warp Glitch saved us a lot of time.
That is true. And here we go. We're getting our music from Slow Walk Eddie. He air glides his way over. If Rivers does us the favor of double checking. It makes sense that Eddie would know the music from the previous Final Fantasy games.
Absolutely, I'm sure he studied all their tunes.
What other music exists in these worlds? Is that vanilla Dark Elf? Just replaced Dark Elf replaced with Dark Elf? The win?
That sure is, and we turned the Dark Elf into this dragon. Hella's going to exploit the weakness of the second form of Dark Elf, who doesn't have the boss bit, and end this real fast.
G Rivers. Well done. Moon Haunted. Where's Inven with his Moon Haunted? Inven would have been up on the moon 20 minutes into this scene.
He might have. I mean, those back attacks would still be a little bit mean.
That's true. I mean, they were. I stopped paying attention to the moon lessons. Some Moonanite. You're no longer a fan of the Moonanites. It looks like we're drawn by Rivers. Congratulations, GG.
Thanks, guys.
GG's, excellent run. So how did you feel when you saw CPU at the hook?
Sad inside. It was one of those seeds where we had all the defense to survive anything, but it was just like how fast you wanted to go, and unfortunately that was a big roadblock, and thankfully it sent me to the right place. I was going to fade that Fabul, but yeah, it worked out.
I think everybody took a wipe to that plague for the exact same reason of 100% defense, 0% offense.
Yeah, that was a tough spot for that plague, especially since you're trying to manipulate the encounters by having somebody slow in the middle, and then like you'll get all hyped up for that. You're like, oh, finally that bridge has no encounters on it. Finally, I can put somebody in the middle right away who's fast. And then, no, you can't. Can't at all.
So, how did you feel taking Earth Crystal, knowing that was you had one check? One of our other runners, Moonblaze, decided to go Moon instead of going Earth Crystal, and that led literally to everything that you needed.
Excuse me, there's a Moon in this game?
Oh, that's a fair point. There doesn't appear to be that much of a Moon at this current point.
What's all that about? I never even raised the whale, so like I don't know who the character was. I don't know what the shop had. I was just 100% once I got that Dark Crystal, I was like, okay, I'm punting this. Everybody else can do whatever they want.
Just counting that as a key item and just carrying on your way.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a Porum on the moon, so you had a Moon White Mage if you really wanted to, but that's a lot of effort for Porum.
Wow, now I'm even more happy I skipped it. Take that, Demi.
You also, one of our other runners, Valvalis, decided to take on CPU, and a good 14 and a half minutes later, eventually lost the CPU fight. So you dodged yourself. You dodged yourself quite the bullet there.
Well, I saw that, and I was thinking, there might have been a chance as I was flying back to the pool. I was like, okay, maybe Medio can do this. Maybe if I set it up right, but then just like, no. If we can avoid this at all possible, let's please do that.
That was, I mean, it's fun to have you back in the community races. That was a heck of a scene. We were sitting here. There were 3 adamant armors readily available off the start, and we thought you were just going to be able to pound your way through it. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts running into Plague without saving after the vanilla Mylon fight.
Yeah, that was interesting right there.
And then the CPU threw a curveball. It turned into a little more of a than we had originally thought, and you played it very well.
See, I didn't think I played the early game very well at all, but once I got going in the underground and everything kind of started clicking again, I was better off. It's one of those things where you come in not having practiced anything all week, and then you're just like, oh, what are these flags? Oh, I see encounters are on. Well, better move that guy out of the middle. Okay. Yeah, thankfully, just pick the right path and forget that there's a moon, and it's an easy game.
Yeah, absolutely. When you had picked up that Earth Crystal and hadn't raised the whale, definitely seemed like you were planning to clear all of Earth before you wanted to, just to avoid that cutscene.
Well, it wasn't a cutscene; it was just the pure fade logic at that point. But yeah, it was one of those things where I saw the 3 adamants early, saw my Dark Crystal. I figured a lot of people would get baited by that, and I wanted to fade it.
Once you followed Earth Crystal that far, it leads you to a Baron Key. I don't disagree with just figuring out what that's going to give you as well.
Well, at that point, I was looking at it, and I knew that there were 6 key items left, and there were, 5 or 6 spots on the moon. So I knew chances were pretty high that this was going to be another key item anyway. And just we followed the chain this far. Let's go for it.
It led you to we were pointed in Scalakitty's seed roll at the beginning, but we did. Everybody who wins now is going to end up winning playing music. So this has been a free enterprise seed if there ever was one.
For sure. I just want to apologize to Rosa. I'm sorry, but I had Bahamut.
You did not even think twice about that.
It really hurt me inside.
Yeah, I mean, Rosa's sitting over there, not happy.
It really hurt me inside, but that was a seed where I knew that multi-target damage might matter, and all I had was Stella. So,
yeah, definitely the right call overall.
Just hurts a little bit. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and take off and let you guys. It looks like Couch finished. So
Couch.
Congratulations, GG, and thanks for coming in for the interview.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
GG. And while we were interviewing Rivers, a couple other people have finished their race. Dark Paladin finished in second place with a time of 1:12.50 seconds, and then Poidrak just about a second behind at 1:12.51. And then Couch had finished the seed at 1:13.23, and they are the 4 finishers so far. And
welcome,
we have Couch in the booth. GG's Couch. Good run. Thank you.
So you made the wise play of chasing the Earth Crystal all the way through to see where that left you, and it put you right all the way to the end of the race. So well done.
Yeah, definitely got lucky on that one. I thought about going to the moon. I was like, it's just the Earth Crystal. That's all we got left. What bad can come from doing the Earth Crystal, right?
Oh, of our four runners, you were the only one who spawned the lunar whale early and took that straight up to the moon.
Yeah, I was hoping for somebody other than Cecil and Tella.
I think find somebody other than them. Saw you cast Berserk with her, so that was some good usage of Forum.
Oh, definitely.
How did you feel about that Troya treasury, though?
A little let down, but it happens sometimes.
You probably made it through the plague spot the fastest of anybody because you actually had that Berserk.
Oh, really?
Everybody had adamant armors. Everybody had all of the, everything in the world, but that wasn't going to help you against the count.
Yeah, definitely.
You were the only one who had that Berserk.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when I saw Berserk show up after the Mylon spot. Like, well, this is going to make things maybe a little bit easier.
Yeah, it was some very aware playing too to remember to cast that Berserk and just get through that fight really easily after resetting out to kind of reset your team up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
You were the only person who didn't actually wipe to Plague. You reset out, whereas
I would have wiped it.
Everybody else at least picked one wipe.
Yeah.
You still you took that. Rivers just said, I refused to go to the moon until I cleared everything else. Was that your thought process when you decided to go Earth, or were you just saying, whatever, I'm just gonna chase all of this as far as it can go?
Honestly, I really enjoy clearing out the Earth first, if I can, clearing all the spots that I can check, and if I get hung up somewhere, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll come back to this later. But my kind of philosophy has always been, oh, well, do what you can to clear out the Earth, don't dive to the moon. And, I mean, it's not going to work for you every time, obviously, but I don't know. It just seems like it's more of a smarter decision, especially if, you got kind of a makeshift team with not super good equipment. I mean, the armor was great, but weapon-wise, kind of on the stale end of everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Cecil was
not kind to you.
It's fun to have that Cecil, but he never turned into the powerhouse that he might have.
Yeah, indeed.
given everything that you checked, and that there was just there wasn't even like a good bow that I've seen anybody find so far. And yeah, we're happy to have you back.
It's good to be back. It's always good to. I always forget how fun these community races are.
Yeah, they're a good time, and you put on a very good show.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure y'all did a fantastic job commentating as well.
Well, you guys and the Seed made it easy with all that wonderful defense and all the bosses who did not care at all.
I know, right?
Do you have any other thoughts on the Seed? I don't remember if you ever went down to Eblan Cave to see the boss who guarded the hook route.
Oh no, I never. I mean, I thought about it, but I mean, once I had 4 people, I was kind of like, whatever. We'll just go for it.
Well, it was CPU guarding there.
Nice. That could have been interesting.
Yeah, that was. We would have been in for a very long fight if had you
Yeah.
decided to go there.
Definitely. But yeah, no, that's. I mean, I had a blast playing. Like, I don't know. It's always fun coming back and playing with everybody. Like, I don't know why I stopped playing to begin with, but yeah, the Seed was great. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for putting this on, everyone.
You're welcome. Thanks for running, and it was good to see you again. And hopefully, we see you again in some more of the community races when you have time and the inclination.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys. GG's. And while we had Couch on the interview booth, Dia has finished in 5th place with a time of 1:17.25. Good job, Dia. Good job, Dia. Looks like Blaze is finishing up with the Baron Castle, just about to get his Twin Harp. While Vela still continues on the moon, is fighting some D-Lunars, which I think this hit a spoon, if I remember correctly, and has successfully gotten a little bit of got the Lunar Dragons. So this will make the rest of this fight pretty clean and easy. Using the D-Lunar's breath attack against them to turn them into Lunar Frogs. While we have a little bit of a lull in the action, I want to give a shout out to Simbu for restreaming, and Ikir for doing an excellent job of tracking tonight. Thank you both. And of course, to all the runners, give everyone a follow. Rivers and Couch and Moonblaze Wolf and Vivalis, they put on a good show for us tonight. Vivalis is back on Earth, and we'll see if he decides to go after CPU again, or maybe remembers that Fabul is an option. Let's hope that the second one is what happens. And Pora making very short work of the second form of Dark Elf.
I was having some technical difficulties there.
Oh, welcome back, Pkey.
Yeah, I was just saying, every time I've called one of these, there's someone who's gotten wandered but wasn't necessarily lost. We'll at least get to see Valvalis get some very well-due revenge on the CPU.
For sure, that spoon is going to do a lot of work for him this time around.
Looks like we're holding out on to see if we can get Blaze in here. Valvalis will make quick work of this. We'll see. There's a...
Oh, does Valvalis not? Oh, didn't keep an Edward, but okay. That's a little sad because Spoony Edward would have done a lot of work here.
Is happy to see you. GG, congrats.
Hey, thank you.
GG, Moonblaze.
You made what would have been, I mean, statistically the right play when you went up to the moon. Unfortunately, the moon is haunted, and it keeps getting reinforced.
Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Blaze. I hate the Earth Crystal and I love the moon.
Love to blaze through the moon, I would assume, based on the name. Unfortunately, both key items happen to be gated by just the Earth Crystal this time.
Yeah, I was headed up there, I was feeling pretty good, and then I was like, wait a minute. If the pan is behind the Earth Crystal, somehow, that's the only way this blows up in my face. And then, of course, Twin Harp still has to not be on the moon, but, you know, it was just one of those things. I'm just going to take pride in the fact that I full clear seed in under an hour 26.
Yeah, that is good work, and considering that you didn't get a lot weapon and party-wise from the early game to still clear the seed that quickly, that's some excellent playing.
Yeah, I mean, 3 adamant armors pretty much will carry you. So I wasn't really too worried about any of that. It was a little bit of a slow go at the beginning, but once I hit my stride, after I got through ordeals, it was just, it felt really easy after that, the rest of the way.
Yeah, ordeals and that plague sure was a bit of a trial there. How did you feel when you saw plague at that back attack spot?
I was really mad that I put the glass helm on Tella because I was trying to knock him out so that I could get him rezzed up and I knew I would be fine. But I wasted 1 or 2 turns attacking him for basically no damage and then realized that I had to kill Cecil instead, and by then it was too late.
That was why he was taking 1 hit. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty odd. And normally I would go back and save there too, but you know, adamant armor, I was like, there's nothing that can beat me right here.
You were not alone in a very expected display of confidence that whoever the next boss was after the first bridge boss, that you were going to get through that without a problem. Everybody else suffered that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get through it as best I could. It's just, it didn't quite work out. I'm actually really happy with how I handled some pretty difficult boss fights on the moon later on, so I made up for it. Unfortunately, it just, it was not to be that anything of value was on the moon today.
Yeah, and you did an excellent job giving Tella some MP to use Meteo to clear at the dolls at the top of the tower. You definitely saved some time there over some of the other players too.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the seed. It was really skill testing. It's just unfortunate that I played the percentages and just didn't work out for me.
You were right neck and neck with Rivers when the two of you basically decided to go, part ways and go in opposite directions. And yeah, no one can blame you for going for 5 key items instead of 1. But sadly, it did not work out in your favor.
Sadly, Scala has trolled you.
That's just the way it goes sometimes. But you know what? I'm glad we got random required music tonight, so that was good.
I think everyone's with you on that one.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing the broadcast, guys. Thank you, Simbu, for doing the restream. Thank you, Iker, for doing the tracking. Thanks, Randomania, for hosting us tonight. And I'm going to duck on out. I will see y'all later.
All right, take care, boys.
Take care. Have a great night, and GG's. And Valvelis has finally gotten revenge on CPU after going to the moon and getting some levels. That's got to feel good.
It has to feel good. There's got to be a part of you that saw all of the duns that have come in so far. Have to be wondering either what it was that got these people through the CPU fight so quickly, or what it is that you missed that got you access to the underground.
Yeah, although I don't know if Valvelis is one of the runners who often likes to just kind of shut Discord down or hide Discord so that you can't see or metagame. So it's possible that they don't actually know.
That is fair. And it looks like he's going to make his way up the tower. With these levels, I don't think he's going to need time to realize the direction that he's going, particularly since he's already cleared the moon. He still has the Tella on his team, right? He has someone who can cast Warp. We'll get to see him clear the dolls, and that very meanly placed Mom Bomb should be making his way over to music in not too much time. So basically, yeah, he has to make his way to the Dwarf Castle. He has to warp glitch his way out of Dwarf Castle, have the Earth Crystal, run up there, and then everything is pretty straightforward for him after that. This is probably the right check from considering on his way down, he probably peeked this boss, knew that he could win this very quickly, and that he was going to basically wipe this boss, not necessarily looking for EXP, but he'll get a little bit here, and he'll get 2 key item checks on his way down. The Pan, easily accessible in the Fey March. I'm sorry, the pass, very easily accessible in the Fey March, and then basically from there, you just gotta follow the rabbit hole because you've cleared everything else. He's steamrolling the rest of the seed pretty effectively.
Yeah, this should be really easy to clear for the rest of it for him. Let's just hope he remembers the warp glitch. Although, it does have the Luca key, so it doesn't actually need it.
Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, this because Sheila 2 is a required check. He might at some point check into the Barren Castle and realize the error of his ways, and notice that he did in fact skip some free underground access.
And Tella, even at whatever levels Tella is at, living the Tella life and missing a virus.
Yeah, they just never trust that guy. Never trust that guy. He's in the middle, and he still can't hit a virus.
Although I wonder if there's some sort of magic targeting glitch or issue when the dolls form into the big doll that would have caused that.
Oh, you could be right there. It could have been a single target on. And this is the save scum that I'd mentioned previously, that is the only one that technically saves time, although in my personal opinion saving is, 4.5 seconds. But you save at the bottom of the tower, check the item, and then reload that save. Off some particular strats back at some potential time.
Yeah, it is one of the heads-up plays you can make to save yourself time in a close seed. So it's always good to see people use it. And Mom doesn't even get a chance to explode this time, or even grow 3 sizes.
Oh, there's no point in even mentioning Mom's heart, the Grinch, and the additional XP that Mom gets. This is gonna be just an absolute steamroll for the duration of it. But we'll get a quick final music relatively soon here. We'll see. There's really nowhere else for him to go besides the necessary routing, because everything else is cleared. This is, when I first started watching these league races, and I was like, okay, this is fair. There's nothing, that hard about playing this randomizer. There's nothing that's gonna, get in my way that I haven't seen some people come across. And then this is a perfect example of how, you can understand everything about this game. And I know Valvalis does, but you can find yourself against a boss, and that boss is absolutely going to eat your lunch. Whereas somebody else is going to sneak by, and that's the game right there.
Yeah, sometimes you can have the best gear, or at least the best defense in the world, and not really be afraid of bosses damaging you, but HP percent attacks over long enough time just kind of can grind you down in unexpected ways.
And I mean, there's plus 15 strength on that armor. There are additional hit multipliers, but it's not going to save you from a couple of those spots if you don't have anything to take advantage of that weakness. He'll check this. This will give him the pass. From here, it's going to be very, very linear. This is one of those where, I think we've all been in this position where you've used up all of your other available options, and now you pretty much know exactly what you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and have all the tools at hand to make pretty quick work of it too.
I don't think he's going to struggle with anything here.
No, this Ogopogo is going to do the most damage of the night with all the HP that Valvalis has, but it's going to go down really fast.
I know there was an Avenger and a Defense Sword, but in all of this, was that the best weapon that we found in a T Wild Seed for a Cecil?
I think it was, yeah.
That's what he's switching between. That is, in its own right.
They found not that cat claws are that rare, but they found a couple for Yang, but they found a Dragoon Spear. Yeah, this has been a pretty lackluster seed for weapons, just lots of adamant armors.
Yeah, it's been wild in some capacity, but as far as where the wild things are, after the first 8 minutes of looting, there hasn't been a single object of note. There was a Dragoon Spear, but I believe that came from Ordeals. None of the top tier weapons besides that cat claw, I guess. And as is being discussed in chat, Dia, if you didn't see it, or anyone else who ran, we had couch checked the all of the Troya treasury and found basically nothing of note besides maybe a Dragoon armlet. So the amount of actual treasure to be found was already found about 8 minutes in as far as equipable items.
Yeah, and we saw Stardust Rod as a boss reward up on the moon. And that and the spoon were by far the best weapons or attack-like items in the game that we found, but we didn't find a food to really take advantage of that Stardust Rod.
I think there was another one. I think there might have been a second Dragoon Spear at some point, or a second weapon that was specific to Kmain, but again, nothing that was extraordinary, particularly for the party that everybody had. I mean, there were power shirts. As far as armor went, they got 5 power shirts just sitting in a wardrobe somewhere.
Yeah, white robe and power shirt and stuff.
Poor Rydia had all the gear, but just nobody picked her up.
Yeah, I mean, Rivers did find that Bahamut and made good use of it at the very end when Rydia showed up in Zot. And Valis is through the gauntlet. Just about ready to get that gold apple and hopefully remember the warp glitch to pick up the earth crystal out of the sealed cave. And there is the Earth Crystal, and hopefully we'll be going pretty much straight to Zot to just kind of clear out the seed in a pretty straightforward fashion. And Babo Smith asking in chat if we're doing another randomizer after this. You never know if there's going to be another race pickup race in the Discord for Free Enterprise. But this is the end of the community race here on Random Mania. But you're always welcome to come to the Discord and check out. And our races, we have async races and other races. Everyone's very friendly in the Discord and is going to. Everyone's very willing to help out and answer questions. People are looking for races pretty often, or there are multiple asynchronous races going on all the time.
And if you get this and if you ever have any questions, we have a newbies corner where particularly our restreamer Simbu and a few of the other premier runners of this game are more than happy to answer whatever questions it is that you might have. If you get caught, if you get stuck, if you want to know more of the detailed math behind the game, anything like that, they're incredibly helpful. Looks like we've got Valvalis on the right track here.
This might just be the Sheila 1 check. I don't think Valvalis is actually... Valvalis got the Earth Crystal, but did not go up to Zot, unless I missed it.
Okay, well, we saw this from the other runners. Necessarily the wrong play, hoping maybe a fool's hope at this point, but hoping that this was going to lead you to the pan.
Yeah, to kind of short circuit.
Oh, he turned it around.
Oh, no. Oh, this is gonna feel real bad.
Oh, this is Schadenfreude at the highest possible level. As Dia pointed out, very, very mean if you happen to catch someone in the real world or in any other place. I know that specifically from Dia. She's definitely, secretly not a very nice person. All sarcasm implied. There's Valvalis realizing why Rivers managed to finish a solid 40 minutes ahead of where he is right now.
Well, still has to pick up.
I know, Scal. I love Dia. She's great.
The magma key from that rat tail. Yes, indeed. I think all of our community is great inside and outside of the Discord, and inside and outside the community. Definitely running into people in other places and Twitch and stuff. It's always a joy to see familiar faces.
You should put that on a t-shirt, Scala. Nice person, mean seeds.
I think that's the Valk's motto, isn't it?
Oh, the Valk. I almost wish you would have forgotten about that. They're not to know.
Yeah, that was a good long look at the Advent Grotto keeper, just kind of staring him down, saying, "Why did you have this?"
Can't believe you've done this. Simbu, are you really going to put yourself up to that?
Yeah, Simbu asking in chat for Scala to roll a mean Kata seed. The Kata seeds in the community are a flag set that are very hard to finish. Sometimes aren't finishable seeds, but they generally can be completed. So he's just asking for some epic trolling in that seed. Valvalis climbing Zot. Gonna take care of Mylon Z here pretty quickly.
I mean, mean seeds are typically better without any adamants, but I felt like the adamants giving a false sense of hope in this, or a false sense of security, I guess would be the best way to say it, in this particular seed, actually led us to the most memorable encounter, and that was the plague fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Up on the bridge.
Effect for everybody.
We'll see. Well, knowing Valvalis, it's don't feel too bad. They'll still, it's going to be very close to a sub 2 hour.
Oh, we still have to go through Baron too, but yeah, it should be right around 2 hours.
In being offered at this point, being offered characters at this point is just one of those things. It's like, yeah, well, maybe I would have taken a Rosa 45 minutes ago, but at this point, I'm pretty much set in my ways.
And the Baron Guard showing off their trick of if you attack them with a melee attack, they will cast Size on one of your characters. And if you attack them with magic, or cast magic on them at all, they'll cast Piggy on one of your characters randomly.
And you can respond with a Piggy of your own or a Toad of your own, but with only having Tella, I wouldn't even risk casting that, because that old man never comes through.
Yeah, he's special in being able to miss spells sometimes.
Well, apparently the if you cast on 2 people, the miss rate, it calculates for either person, and if you miss on either person, then it misses on both of them. Not to say that I'm disagreeing with you, because I've had Tella miss what I thought was the easiest of spells at any time, but I would not entrust the victory of my party to telecasting any spell on anybody at this point.
No, there's a special joy when Tella misses life on somebody.
In the most basic of spells, you old man, you old codger.
He just kind of forgot something, that's all. It's okay.
Well, Noko, Myra Noko, if it's any consolation, the Avenger was only found by going through the hook route into the upper tower and fighting a trap chest. So the Avenger came at a very extensive cost, which was fighting CPU for a long time, and then not winning, and then having to leave. Right.
Yeah, that really is the story of Valvalis' run here, is that CPU bait and trying their hardest to get through, but just not being able to deal enough damage.
I will say, again, as far as Schadenfreude is concerned, it was nice to have Valvalis trying something that no one else was trying at the time. I don't think that's going to make Valvalis feel any better about themselves, but it did make for something other than the exact same routing going on the screen, at least until the divide between the Earth Crystal and heading up to the moon.
And there is the third objective done for Valvalis, and now just has to go to Baron, clean up Baron to get the Twin Harp, and then go chase down Dark Elf.
So again, while this is going on Antidel, I want to, say thank you for commentating with me. Simbu, obviously, for restreaming. Our great tracker, Akir. Give all of them a follow if you're so kind. And it's always a pleasure getting to be able to do these.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a lot of fun to run, or a lot of fun to watch, and maybe this time more fun to watch and commentate than it might have been to run, given the wonderful trolling from Scala Kitty's seat.
I can't think of I'm every time I watch one of these, I always wonder, would I have done that? Would I have done this? And to typically skip Baron, but if I had, I would have. Even if I saw CPU, I would have just, in my mind, I would have been like, "There's no way there's not Matt McKee at Baron. I'm just gonna do it anyway." And I fought that CPU there, and it is painful. It hurts you down to your core. It's the simplest fight. It's just you're just inputting the exact same things over and over and over again.
Yeah, you're so used to it not being any sort of threat. You usually have a white mage with sufficient healing, and it doesn't have that much HP.
I always try to game my way out of the I always gamble with my CPU fight. I'll try to reflect a float, or I'll cast Meteor, or I'll throw a Quake and then just hope I can DPS, the rest of the damage before my party gets wiped. And those options were not very readily available. Then you're just slogging. And this is going to be the slowest walk down to the Baron Castle pot, the garbage bin of Baron Castle where they keep their key items, and maybe the history of Valvalis running these races. Sid's back. He's like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm back."
Valvalis says, "No, I'm still good."
It was nice. It was cool. It was fun, while we had you, but yeah, it's still gonna be a no for me, dog. This slow walk and Eddie walking over to the harp are the two free enterprise things that I don't want them to make it go faster. I just enjoy how long it takes. It's like, aren't you in a rush to get down these stairs? Okay, I guess not.
Well, Tilla's old. He's got to take those stairs carefully. We wouldn't want him to fall. But it is a good tension building, suspense mounting kind of moment there of like, all right, I just did that. What am I gonna get? What am I gonna get? And Vavel's wisely there, taking off an Iron Ring from Yang, just in case there's a back attack.
That was the one thing Simbu pointed out early on. I was kind of sitting on, but I mean, Yang typically doesn't carry that is metallic, but that really could have slowed, Rivers or Couch down if we had a party of people who were all, typically wearing metallic objects. Here we go one last time. The horn of Hellhammer and sound out in the deep one last time. Oh, Rivers, you did? Okay. I'm not surprised, but
Yeah, I mean, it was
That
late
would have
enough in
been-
the seed that most people probably had equipped some other rings on people, so it wouldn't have been too worrisome.
Tala, he might be old, but he's not. He's not old enough to just die. Poor Arby's. So he's just a drain right now on Valvalis' menuing. Arby's over here just. There you go. Okay, the final, the airwalk. Both of his feet are off the ground. This is all I'm saying. Both of his feet are off the ground while he's walking, and it confuses me. He looks like a 3-year-old in slow motion. Of course, you're gonna fall.
Well, he's been in bed for hours, maybe weeks. We don't even know how long he's been in that bed.
Our Dark Elf transforms into, as we've all discovered, the most terrifying possible boss to exist here, which is the
Dark Elf.
Yep.
The Avenger will take very short work of this fight. 2 swings, it's over. Valvalis has finally beaten the seed.
On it. GG's in the chat for Valvalis. Bring them out. Bring them out. He's earned it.
For sure, that was an excellent comeback from just taking down CPU after that.
We're
Like that.
joined in the chat. GG Valvalis.
Yes, GG's Valvalis.
As soon as I saw Magma Key, because I keep Discord closed, I was like, oh no.
We were wondering if you saw the Duns come in or not.
Nope. I keep it all closed because to me it's a distraction. But like I said, as soon as I finished for Bull, saw the Magma Key, I pulled it up. I was like, yep, that's last place.
Also, yeah, we saw you like leaving Fabul and then decide to turn around after you did Sheila 1.
To be honest,
and part of me was like, don't look. You don't want to know what it is.
no, I had completely forgotten about Fabul when I was like, oh, I'm gonna do shopping, stopped by orders. I was like, oh, this shouldn't be too bad. And then just spaced.
You put up a good fight against that CPU.
I was really mad because that I switched to the Avengers. I was like, oh, okay, this is what 20-something thousand HP, I think. So I'll just switch to the Avengers. Should be relatively close. Nope.
Yeah, Tella's just not fast enough to get blinks up on the attacker to keep it alive, and in case Cecil decides just to not attack the main CPU.
I figured after that, I was just like, yeah, let's just go do the moon because I have that. I'll have levels, and if it's still a hook seed, then CPU will be nothing.
It was good to see you go back and like tear it to shreds. Just from the fact that like if you had come back and then gotten magma, like maybe you wouldn't have fought him again. But you came back and you got your just revenge, which I was happy to see at least.
I mean, other than forgetting that Fabul has a key item, I'm happy with how I played.
Yeah, you got through Plague pretty well. Pretty much everyone took either a reset or a wipe on the restream because Plague is mean there, even with the adamant armors. But other than, and you did a great job of sticking out that CPU fight, having Tella use the Lilith Rod to pick up some extra magic and keep going. You just happened to fall down that one extraordinarily long rabbit hole.
Yep, that's all I can say. But thanks for having me on the restream. Good job, Simbu, on that. Ike here on tracking, and of course you two doing commentary. I'm going to bed.
A well-earned
GG.
rest.
On rest. You take care. I think that's it. Yeah, one last time. Thank you, Simbu. And Ike here. Simbu on the restream, Ike here on the tracking. Antidale. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, you too as well, PK. And it looks like we're going to raid Bahamut X, who is still continuing on the seed.
Wonderful.
Thank you all for watching, and thanks to Randomania for allowing us to put on a show on their channel. I hope everyone has a great night.
Yep, you all take care. Thank you for watching.